And I'm Santini Barron.
And today we are representing Young Women's Leadership Academy with our team name, Flowing Energy.
The idea of our project is to make a one-part charger that can charge your phone during an emergency, such as a power shortage, if you're lost, if you're camping, and if there is a natural disaster.
Earlier this month, we
had a power shortage in Texas, and we were thinking that our system would be a really good idea during that time.
So what we ended up doing with our materials is we used a crank generator, an aluminum sheet, some wire strippers, and generator, and and a USB male and female port.
So for our building instructions, first we took a rocket launcher for our base, and then we used a wooden rod for the fan to be on. We used 2 paper clips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we put them on the side so we could put the fan that we made out of an aluminum sheet, and we put a metal rod through here, and we put it through the paper clips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we ended up making the the fan or turbine by cutting out a circle from an aluminum sheet, and then we used a hexagon in the middle to cut out our blades to then make the fan, and then we just bent them a little bit so the wind would catch on to them, and then we used duct tape at the end so it wouldn't poke or
hurt
scratch anyone. And then we use this USB cord to try connecting the charger and the generator together. So, but we ended up figuring out that the USB cord was too long than we expect. It was a lot longer than we expected.
So it required too much voltages.
Yeah.
And it still had to go through the phone charger, so it just didn't have enough power.
And we figured out that we needed about 9 volts in order to charge your phone. And we figured that out by using a voltage meter. Then we used wire strippers to strip the
outer rubber.
And then we also used it to strip the generator cords. And then once we got that stripped, then we connected the blue with the black because we assumed that the blue was considered a black cord, and then the red one with the red. And then with the wind,
the gear that was on the initial generator, it required too much force. So when the wind spun, it just wouldn't go fast enough. So it wouldn't provide enough energy.
So then with our second prototype, we used the same rocket launcher. We cut the dowel shorter so it would catch more wind and it wouldn't bend over.
It was a little wobbly too.
And then we ordered a kit that included all the materials we needed. So we got a platform, our motor, and a motor holder, and gears, a fan, and some platform stands. So what we ended up doing was we connected the fan with the rod.
Then we added a gear at the end of the other side, which would then touch the motor with another gear that's connected to the motor.
And then we connected the red with the red cords that are connecting to a USB port, and we got the USB from the USB port. So we connected the black with the black to the motor, and then we connected the red with the red to the motor. So then when the wind would push the fan, it would go push the generator into the motor, then power up to go through the USB. And we did end up getting it to work.
We ended up using a hair dryer to test it out, and it did charge your phone. It worked perfectly fine.
And so one thing that we did figure out during this learning process is that the less gears that you use, the easier it is for the wind to spin. And so we started off with 5 gears and then worked our way down. And we ended up figuring out that we got about 1 more volt every time that we went down with a gear.
We also consulted a engineer, and another problem that we encountered with the USB port was that the wires fell off, so we had to solder that. And the engineer, helped us with this, Mr. Garza.
And so one thing that is good about our prototype is that the USB has a red little light on it. So when you know your phone is charging,
It will
the
turn on
red
and
light will
indicate
turn
it.
on. And so we definitely learned a lot through this. And we learned that a wind turbine is a propeller-like turbine that spins around a rotor.
And that an electric motor is an electrical machine that converts electrical energy, into mechanical energy.
And a simple DC charger works by constant power of DC. Yep. And so here are some photos of us working. And this is the original, what we started off with and tried making our project into.
This is a picture of our first prototype. We think that the second prototype is also a lot better and it's easier to carry around. You could just put it in a little box and you can have it in your car when you need it.
You can fold the things up too, so it doesn't stick out. But yeah, we ended up learning a lot. And so, yeah, that's our project, Flying Energy.
Thank you.